Hello and welcome to the Custom Vantage Office training video for sales tax configuration. So in CVO, sales taxes are applied to a customer with a tax code, and that tax code is made up of components, and the addition of each component is what creates the total amount of tax being charged. So let's look at how that's done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Sales and then Tax Codes. In the tax codes, tax code again is what gets applied to the customer. So let's take a look at any given customer here, and we will see that the code is assigned here, and that's what is used on the customer's invoices, orders, etc. So the tax components to make up the code are assigned by clicking on Tax Components. So to get to the tax components, we click on the Tax Components button. To do that, we're now going to create the actual components that will make up the total tax in the tax code. So in the first example, let's assume we have a sales tax state level, a sales tax at the county level, and a sales tax at the city level. All right. So let's create some new tax components. First one will be city, and let's say that's 0.5%. Then for the accounting, we're going to assign the tax to a general ledger account. You may have set up general ledger codes for each of those components. In most places, it's sufficient to put them under the state sales tax, because in most jurisdictions, you're going to take the sales tax that you owe, you're going to make one payment to the state, and they're going to divvy it up to the various elements, city, county, etc. So if that's the case, you're good with this. If not, then you can create your general ledger accounts accordingly. So in this case, it's the city tax. Again, you could put a description in here. I'm going to create another new one, and this will be the county tax. And let's say this is 1.25%. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here. And then on my sales tax reporting, it'll give me the totals. And then one final one, and this is the state sales tax component. And let's say that's 4.5%. And again, same GL code. So now I've created 3 components, one for the state sales tax, one for the city sales tax, and one for the county sales tax. Now I need to create a component. The component is what we assign to the customer, which is used on their invoices, etc. So I'm going to create a new one, and I would often recommend, if this is for the state, just using the state abbreviation code. Otherwise, you'll create various tax codes for the various sections of your state in which you're going to collect different sales taxes. So I'm going to call this one CONP, as in component, and this is going to be made up of the city tax, the county tax, and the state tax, giving me a total tax rate of 6.5%. I'll save that. Now I'll create another new one. We'll call it Comp 2, because in this jurisdiction we collect the state and we collect the county, but there is no city tax. So the total tax rate there is only 6% even. So you can see how these tax components become very powerful as far as creating the various tax codes in the various jurisdictions in which you need to collect sales tax. Once a tax component is created, it can be used in any number of tax codes. And then if at some time, in the unlikely event, a tax component goes down, more likely it's going to go up. So say the county increased what it charges from the 1.5% to 1.75%, you would certainly just edit the tax component, so county, and let's just say it went up to 1.75%. If I could type, we'd be fine, 1.75, and we'll save that. And now it changed the total for this one to 6.25 instead of 6. And yes, we do want to save the change. And this one, 6.5. Right? So we calculate. So you'll see that these are very powerful in that all you need to do is create the codes, create the components, assign the components to the codes, and then the breakouts will be shown in the various tax reports. I hope you found that easy. Thank you again for using Custom Vantage Office.